Alright guys, so here we are bringing you the very first video for the upcoming Pokemon World 3D. So as we get started, just going to let you watch the main character begins to explore Viridian Forest. This is very early stages of the forest. And as you can see, our character's running up on a mobile Caterpie. Just going to take a look at him for a second so you can see him move. There we go. So all Pokemon will be in the actual world in 3D, moving about for you to engage and discover as a player. So a little bit about me real quick as we move throughout the forest. My name is David. I attended Full Sail University to get a Bachelor of Science in Game Design. I do not have any formal education when it comes to programming, animating, modeling, anything other than game designing. For those of you who aren't familiar with exactly what game design is, it's pretty much the person who puts together the specs of the game. Anything from hit points to statistics, make sure the game is well balanced. If you continue to watch, right now we're about to see the player come up on a Pikachu. Anybody who remembers Viridian Forest from Pokemon Red and Blue, which this game is largely the areas of Kanto are based around Red and Blue. Pikachu was able to be captured in Viridian Forest, although encountering Pikachu was extremely rare. And with that said, it'll be the same in this game. Finding a Pikachu will be an extremely rare event. Alright, so a little bit more about myself in this game. I've been playing Pokemon ever since Red and Blue debuted in the US. I did, however, stop playing them around the time the DS became really popular. I believe the last one I played was Emerald, I believe it was. But my dream to actually see Pokemon in 3D never died off. I've always wanted to make this my very first project when I did finally get started in game design and development. So here I am getting things going with this. As you can begin to tell, Viridian Forest is going to be pretty big. It will take time to get from one quote-unquote end of the forest to the next, but as with any MMO, maps are massive. Not only for making the player feel how big the world is, but for exploration purposes, level grinding, discovering areas and rare items. You need pretty large maps. So this won't be any different when it comes to Pokemon World 3D. Player, again, this is a very early rendition of Viridian Forest. The tree density will be some of the changes and adjustments we'll make. If you pay attention to some of the areas the player's running to, the high rises, the higher elevations of Earth, which is meant to prevent the player from basically just running from one corner of the map to the other. It's a little rough right now, so the terrain needs to be edited, so we'll be working on that. A couple of questions I'm getting from people about, because this is our first video, this is our very first video, that's the very first time you've heard my voice, is the very first time I've done anything other than type about the game to explain it to people who are following along. But some of the questions I've been getting are, things like, will the player be able to control the Pokemon? In the open world, no. This is not to be like other fan games that have been made. This is to truly just take the essence, the core of what Pokemon is, and translate it into a fully 3D game and make that game a massive multiplayer game. So with that said, the focus of the game still is on capturing and training and battling Pokemon, but over the decades, Pokemon has evolved from more than just battling. So we will have contests, such as beauty contests and whatnot, where the player will have some sort of control over the Pokemon, but not just to free roam around a map. So as you can see, here we are coming up on the Metapod area of Viridian Forest. So earlier, we came into Viridian Forest, we saw some Caterpie, which are like the most common Pokemon in Viridian Forest. As you delve deeper into a map in any MMO, you encounter more powerful foes, enemies, creatures. So naturally, a Metapod is an evolved state of a Caterpie, so you wouldn't necessarily run into a Metapod in the early areas of an MMO version of Viridian Forest. So here we are about I want to say about almost 2/3 of the way through the forest, and we're starting to come across stronger Pokemon like Metapod. Um, my Weedle model right now is a bit screwed up, for lack of a better term. So that's why we're not seeing Weedle in the forest, but Weedle will be in Viridian Forest as he's supposed to be, or she's supposed to be for that matter. Um, of course, a lot of the frames and areas you're seeing right now are not populated, but again, this is an early rendition. I just wanted to show you guys how the game is supposed to look, how far along it's come, and just the overall feel you can expect from the game. So we're still running through Viridian Forest right now. We're coming closer towards the end. A couple of other questions I'm getting about, like, for say, the battle system. It is not going to be a 2D battle system like any other Game Boy or DS Pokemon game. It will be similar to what you find in games like Pokemon Coliseum and Battle Revolution, where the Pokemon are in a 3D plane and they interact with each other based on the commands their trainers give them. So let's say, for example, here we are in Viridian Forest. If we were to encounter another trainer and engage them in battle, the player, oh, sorry about that. Here we are in the Kakuna area of the forest. As you can see, Kakuna is hanging from trees, and this is a tucked off area that is not necessarily along the way to the exit. So again, just going on further to explain how players can explore areas. Again, here's another Pikachu. So back to what I was saying, if a player was to encounter another trainer in Viridian Forest and engage them in battle, the two trainers would be then transferred, not quite literally, but the game would shift to a view of a rotating camera, or orbiting camera, showing the two trainers in Viridian Forest battling their Pokemon. Other trainers who were passing by could decide to spectate, which in early thought processes, I'm thinking about having it so that if you walk up to two trainers who are actively engaged in battle, there will be a way for you to know they're engaged in battle, and you can select an option to, observe their battle. Some more questions and the skepticism that I'm receiving is things such as, well, what if one trainer is a super trainer and he's out just picking on little people? Well, there will be a ranking system that will be public that shows all players, if player A encounters player B, player A will be able to tell just how skilled player B is, how far along player B has come. I'm not going to release details on that right now, but just to let you know that it will be very well balanced, and it will be accessible to all, both newcomers and veterans of the Pokemon series alike. So I hope you guys follow along, and thanks for watching.